Okay, hello. Sound check, check 1 2, check on the mic. Trying to get things a little situated here. Let's do this real quick. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it is podcast time. Of course it is. We're just doing all kinds of different things tonight. So we're just going to hang out. We're going to talk softball for a little bit, of course. And, probably keep it on softball. But it's going to be a little bit different. So I relocated my computer desk into another room in the house like literally 20 minutes ago. It just kind of came to us to get the wild hair to do it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I've got a light right above my head that's like really washed out. I didn't even do it planning to do all the video stuff, but I actually found one of my old webcams while I was moving everything. So I thought, what the hell, let's hook this thing up and try and make this look somewhat presentable. Oh, Q, stop it. So we'll see. I mean, if anything, it's a chance to maybe be a little bit more personable, you might say. Is that the word? The podcast will feel more personal. Like when I really get on a topic that's going to like grind my gears, I can kind of get, focused in a little bit. I don't know. Food for thought anyway. I did forget to start the music. So let's get that going. We've got to have musics to fill in the blank space. How's everybody doing tonight? Play. Add playlist. Okay. Then switch this over. Okay. I know there's better ways to implement the chat into the podcast as well. It was literally just like last minute scramble something together. This looks horrible, so washed out behind me. It's going to drive me nuts. Like if you got brightness settings on your phone, it's going to be like full blast all the time. Not sure how I feel about that yet. Yeah. Matthew Clark says angry ramble because blank wasn't the best bat. So I was, gosh, this looks horrible. What are we thinking? Are we thinking leave this or like figure out a way to not make it so look washed out? I wonder, gotta add what? Yeah. Okay, well, problem solved. There you go, boys. Just come get it. It's gone. Here, a little extra assurance. I'm done with it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, Josh. So I wasn't the only one. He said he put sunglasses on to watch. Yeah, I mean, it's literally like right above my head, shining down on me, and it's an LED light, so it's like super bright and efficient, all that happy shit. So, maybe we'll just roll with this for now. But we do have a few things. Let's see if I can get that pulled up. Open to whatever topics might come up as well. We are going to talk some football. And let's see. How do I? See. So there's that one. And then this one. And then this one. My wife thinks I'm cool wearing sunglasses in bed at least. Yeah, I mean, who was it? Was it Big Daddy? When the kid used to wear the sunglasses, like he wouldn't even feel like he would want to be invisible and disappear. He would just put the sunglasses on. And yeah, Mike, how about them Cowboys? So listen, Cowboys on paper had probably, arguably one of the best teams in the league. And that's how they finished the year. They finished the year on a QB sneak, not even QB scramble, QB draw for 10 yards. That was their final play of the year. That's tough. That's real tough. But, man, like, the other way that goes, like, you know, you could blame it on Dak at the end of the game, and you could blame it on McCarthy. But, like, the big thing that I really took away from it, I heard somebody say it on the radio the other morning on the way to work, was like, you put the ball in your quarterback's hands with, 2.5 to go when they originally got the ball at the end of the game, not when, you know, there was time running out or whatever. You're paying your quarterback $40 million a year. $40 million. One of, if not the highest paid quarterback and player in the league. And you put the ball in his hands with 2.5 minutes to go. You should be able to look at that guy and say, go win me a football game. And it didn't happen. But the flip side of it, there were several chances for the drive that they had the ball. Sorry, squirrel. I'm trying to read the chat and talk at the same time. So there were several times when Dallas's defense had opportunities to get their offense back onto the field with one more stop. They would get that stop, and then there'd be a penalty. And Romo even said at one point, they have the most penalties in the league, but they also have the most takeaways. Now, there was 2 penalties that just absolutely killed them at the end of the game. Would have been chances to stop a completion, stop a gain. And I think the other one was for what would have been 4th down or maybe they were both on 3rd down, which would have been 4th, had they not gotten a penalty. So that just ate up more clock. So very poor discipline. And then the clock management in general by McCarthy. Like, you got to be thinking to yourself, like, what does 10 yards gain me in the grand scheme of things? I mean, if anything, I'm no football player. I'm not a football coach. But to me personally, in the grand scheme of things, like, what's that 10 yards going to gain you that you can't just keep it, maybe take 2 shots at the end zone, and you've got more field to kind of spread everybody out. I understand you've got to shoot for the end zone, but, you know, what are you saying there can't be somebody in no man's land and, you know, find somebody wide open, they can jog into walk right into the end zone. There's a million different things that could have unfolded. If you don't see what you like, you throw the ball away and then take another opportunity. But to run a play like that, his time is essentially expiring, was just wild to me. Absolutely wild. And the fact they tried to get in the playoff without the referee touching the ball, I mean, these are professional athletes who've been playing this game, assuming since they were kids. And none of them knew that the referee had to touch the ball before they could start the play. Like, none of them. And it was kind of funny, too, because if you follow John Boy Media at all, he kind of covered that whole thing unfolding there. And it was kind of funny because you stop and think about it, like, the referee that's in charge of spotting the ball, like, how close is he actually getting this ball every time? I mean, even then on that play, you see him run up, he grabs the ball and he's like, this is here. Oh, no, maybe here. Oh, it goes right here. Like, dude, he was 25 yards behind the play. 25 yards behind the play. There is no way he could have seen where the ball was down at. But it's his job to spot the ball. Like, not on video. Why? Oh. was told to turn the music down. Why didn't you guys say anything? So, yeah, I mean, and then on top of everything else, you've got the fact that this guy's got to run 25 yards up the field to spot the ball. It's kind of funny. John Boy also said, like, imagine, if it was a deal where it was baseball and you had somebody like Joe West that had to do something like that. Like, listen, if we got Joe West trying to do something like that, we're just not going to have that play in the playbook. that guy is barely covering the territory around home plate. But it did make me chuckle, though. If anybody follows John Boy Media, then you know what I'm talking about, what he said in his video. And if you're not, you need to go check it out. It's good content. He always kind of covers, like, the sports blunders and that kind of thing. All the little, like, silly moments and kind of WTF moments that arised. So let's see. I'm going to get a couple of pictures ready here momentarily as well. In case you hadn't noticed, honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. We're just very unprepared tonight. I'm just going to hit you with it. It's just kind of one of those nights. I don't really know, like, nothing's wrong. It was just, like, the week in general, like, there's really just not a whole lot going on in softball right now. Like, we could cover the best of 2021 stuff with the U-Trip stuff, but, a lot of that stuff was kind of cut and dry. And... Sorry, squirrel. The hell? Okay. Oh, that's not monitor 2. That's not monitor 2. Hey, we did it. So, hey, let's talk about this for a second. BP Hero style snowman coming at you. Big snowman guy. We're big snowman guys around here. So, when the weather originally hit, the snow got so... I know I'm moving the screen on you. Bear with me. The snow was, like, so wet. Like, so icy, and they got so hard. We couldn't hardly do anything with it, like, right away. It was drifting up real bad in the backyard, and it was really hard. It was just impossible to try to mess with. So, as it started thawing out, we got home yesterday evening, actually. And, like, I think maybe she was running through the yard and stepped in it, and I saw her footprint. And I immediately thought, like, this is snowman building stuff right here. So, we blasted us out of snowman, put about a half hour's worth of work in on this bad boy. I mean... Snowman BP Hero style. We got the arms out there, got the golf balls, got the golf tees. I mean, you got the softballs and the hat. You got 3M, got to rep the 3M, right? So we had a little bit of everything going on out there. And yeah, that is the shaved mayhem, actually. I'm just keeping that on hand just for like a, hey, what's a shaved bat look like? Somebody's asking, like, I can just say, bang, look. Here, look at this thing. It would be an easy thing for somebody to see in case they had any questions, or maybe I could use it for reference in a video later on. But yeah, so we made us a little snowman. Gotta get that snowman life in. Like I said, big snowman guys. Then something else I thought was kind of funny. This came across everybody's phones. It was actually last night as well. It was like Gotham City purple and green 78 Dodge 3700 GT with the plate number. You kid me. I was like, what? Like, what? This literally showed up on my phone with like the like burp noise and everything. Like, brutal. You know, my daughter's like, what's that noise? What's that noise? What's wrong? What's my noise? And what's that noise? And my son's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Why is this my phone going off? And then there was another one right after that ended up saying, this is just a test by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, blah, blah, blah. But like, dude, I saw this on my phone and immediately thought like, Gotham City, Missouri, what? And then I read the description of the car and I'm like, okay. And then I read the plate number and I thought, all right, something's going on here. And then like literally a minute later that showed up. But I thought that was really funny. And then I got one more for you. One more. So we got some sugar cookies, right? Here's what I need everybody to do. Do you need me to zoom in on this? Can you see it okay? If you're watching this right now, or even watching it later, you have to comment your unicorn name. You have to. It's the rules. Look at this. Pause the. I'll even leave it up here so you can figure it out. Post a unicorn name in the chat, in the comments. You got to do it, or your mom's a hoe. Right? Okay? Are we clear? So, get that going. Check that out. Put them in the comments. Your boy, you got to top this one. Your boy's Confetti Fairy. Who's topping that? Who is topping Confetti Fairy as a unicorn name? I'll wait. I'll even leave this up there for a minute for you. Oh, and by the way, these sugar cookies were absolute ass. In case anybody was wondering. They were absolutely terrible. But my daughter was excited. They were unicorn sugar cookies. Even going in there, I was like, oh, cool. But dude, if you didn't take them off the pan while they were like burning your fingers and tried to like pop it in your mouth, like on a scale of 1 to 10, these cookies were probably like a 2.2. I mean, it was barely edible. Not a big sugar cookie guy. Not at all. Not a big sweets guy. Have bad eyes and can't see this. You need me to zoom in some more? Man, I think you're just bullshitting me because you don't want to put your name on there, Mike. Here, let's do it a little more. I'm gonna blow it up real big for you. Come on. All right, there you go. No excuses, Mike. No excuses. Confetti Blossom. Love the Confetti Blossom. Candy Star. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes just hanging out podcast is a good time. Really, it is. But I saw this, like we got to giggling. Let's see. My wife was Sweet Pearl. That's like normal, not fun. Then let's see, what was my son? My son was Frosted Sprinkles. Frosted Sprinkles unicorn. But I mean, just like, how can you top Confetti Fairy? I will say Confetti Blossom is pretty good. And Candy Star, I mean, we're getting there. Not a big sugar cookie guy, but we could get down with some names on the back of a box. So, you've had your chance to do that. We're going back to the original podcast here. And one thing I do want to talk about that will be softball related for the night. Brian and I got to talk. I wish I could get that guy to be on the podcast, first of all. Like, he and I work together. We work the same shift in the same building. So we take lunch together every day. Like, we could just podcast for lunch every day. We'd have to listen to us chomping on our food and getting excited about Lily's Cantina on every other Tuesday and everything else. But it would be worth it, I promise. So I wish I could get him to be on the show, because like we had a pretty interesting discussion going about the Challenge Cup of all things. You know, it's super cool. It's an opportunity for a lot of people. But if you really stop, and maybe this is just like the pessimistic side of it. I mean, is it just a big pickup tournament? The Challenge Cup, if for those that don't know, it's something ran by USSSA. And basically, every team is built like if you're most states are big enough to have a team, but the ones that aren't combined with other states, and there's a coach appointed, and then that coach essentially just handpicks a team to take down to the Challenge Cup and represent, your state or your states at Vieira for the world to see. World to see, country to see, whatever. But one thing that I thought kind of interesting, I don't know how it is anywhere else, and maybe people, I understand there's 5 of you here in the chat. But, like, what if the Challenge Cup, you instead of, here how it is here anyway, to my understanding, is basically, someone just reaches out to the director and says, hey, I want to run the Challenge Cup team. And if nobody else says anything, the director is like, all right, cool, here you go. Go build your team and have a good one. Like, why shouldn't it be, like, you got classes, you got E, D, and C. And I understand that the higher in class you get, the harder it's going to be. But at least even for E, D, and C, you could have your state tournament coaches, state tournament champion coaches, represent the state, and then from there you decide something for the players that make the Challenge Cup. Say it's your all tournament team from your state tournament, or I know that there's other tournaments that do give out awards. Maybe reserve spots for people that have awards, and say like the state champion coach can't go, then the second place team or the third place team. Work your way down that way in that tournament, in your state tournament, until you find a coach that can go and run everything, and then work your way through player accolades and player awards and things like that to assign your players instead of just grabbing pickup players and going. And like I said, the higher this goes level-wise, the harder that's going to be. But at least for like E, C, and D, there's no reason you couldn't do that. There's absolutely no reason. And do I think it's kind of a money grab? A little bit. I mean, essentially, it is just a bunch of people getting together at Vieira and, like I said, playing a pickup tournament. But I would so much rather it be like a showcase of talent. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the players that go down there are not talented, and I'm not saying that the competition's horrible. I mean, I'm not getting an invite to go, so so I'm not trying to like call out other people. It's more of just there should be something in place to decide who goes. At least exhaust those options first. Like your MVP from your state tournament, and then you got like offensive MVP and things like that. Just like maybe some type of what you might consider a reward to those people that have earned those accolades. I don't know. Just kind of spitballing here. But that's kind of how I feel about that. Thoughts at all? So let's see. I had one other thing I was going to show you nerds, but I did want to talk about the best of list for just a minute. Let me get that pulled up. So it did seem like the best of list did go over pretty well with you guys. Understand like we're on 2 different channels here. By some odd anomaly, you're here and you don't know about the BP Hero channel. Pull up a web browser, type in the bphero.com, go to YouTube, and type in the BP Hero. You'll find it. But we did our best of 2021 video. It is posted. And let's see, get that muted. I did want to cover a couple of things that people were having questions about. Again, there was still the question of why didn't this bat make the list? Why didn't that bat make the list? Like I do enjoy the fact that it was all stuff that we reviewed. So doing the 1 through 5, it gets kind of weird in the aspect of, well, I prefer inloads. So most of the stuff on there would be inloaded. And kind of the other weird part with inloads and balance stuff is there is so many more offerings for inloaded bats. It's kind of wild. Midloads are kind of a thing, especially in the ASA world with all the monsters. But even as far as ASA or U-Trip goes, there's just not a ton of balanced offerings. So that kind of makes things hard too. So it's kind of nice to be able to put a balanced bat, somewhere like relevance and like let people know like, hey, like it's okay to pick a balanced bat too. If you're a balanced fan, you're going to see that like the Eastern Osmondo balance made the list. And if you watch the video, then you would understand that I said that the mid-loaded Nautilus is essentially just, to me personally, a balanced Nautilus. So you got options there, and I understand that there was other balanced offerings that were out there that we didn't get to swing. I understand that as well. But I don't know. I do enjoy this. I'm going to maybe keep these categories. I may change them up a little bit just kind of based on... Here we go, sorry. I may make them up just a little bit, just kind of based on some feedback and stuff that I got. But I'm thinking we could just even keep these categories and just update the list as we go. And one thing I'm kind of trying to figure out, I need to figure out if me linking it is going to change it for everybody else. But I thought it would also be kind of cool to put this link out there to this list and let everybody make their own version of this list and screenshot it and put it in the comments on Facebook or something. Just to kind of see what everybody else was thinking too. Because we really enjoyed the Louisvilles and personally feel like they're top notch, it doesn't mean that other people did. I talked to a couple of people, mainly one of my buddies. I told him he must have just bumped his head, but that's a discussion for another day. But he said he didn't care for the Louisvilles at all. That's just crazy to me. But Louisville is onto something. No doubt about that. There's no questioning that. And hell, I'll pull up this list here so you guys can see. Why not, right? Oh my God. I really got to work on getting these screen sizes consistently under control. Podcast is in shambles tonight, boys. You're just going to have to hang on for the ride. But if you did miss it, here we are with the best of 2021 USSSA bats for your boy, the BP Hero. But I had fun doing this list. It was something different. It wasn't just a 1 through 5 and then answering 10,000 questions about what did I think about this bat or that bat. So it was nice. It was a nice change of pace. I will say that. And I've also been watching... Sorry, what's this? Matthew Clark says, I like the way you did ASA better. Just put the best bat in the first spot. So, okay, so Matthew, you thinking maybe keep a running list? Maybe the tiers could go 1 through 5, 5 through 10. And then just kind of have maybe a pretty good but not quite top tier category. Basically take out the no question the best and do a 1 through 5. And then the gotta have it in the bags would be 5 through 10. And then you could, do the other 3 categories. When you think it's something like that, it wouldn't be terrible either. Just to kind of give, people the idea of this is for sure the best. But that is why I put these in no question the best category. Yeah, obviously you got to have it in the bag. But like I said, if somebody's going to ask me what the best bat would be, that's what I'm going to say. If somebody's open to suggestions on 240 stamp bats, that's what you got to check out. If you don't want a Louisville, you got a ton of other good options. The NDM1 and the NDM2 and the Freak 9R. Those are probably my next immediate suggestions, especially for something that's going to be readily available. So you got to try those out. The Freak 23 as well. Obviously, everything on the list there. I'm sitting here rambling these off, but Yeah, maybe do like a 1 through 5 and then a 5 through 10, and then the rest could be just kind of scrambled in there somewhere. I don't hate that idea either. Maybe we'll kind of play around with it and see what everybody else thinks. I'm up for whatever. Um, is our guy Dustin Ray used to like to say all the time. Um, you're fucking this pig. I'm just holding the head. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, I'm just holding the head. You guys are doing what you want. So I'm up for suggesting however you guys want the content done as how we'll still do it. And yeah, it is still like a top 10 thing too. As far as you could still definitively say, oh, this one is the best. But here's what I'm saying though, Matthew, is like it gets back to me preferring inloads, or me like what if I didn't like the Louisville Slugger Genesis balanced, but I prefer the Jenny, but they're both the same bat, but I just prefer the inloaded model of it. But I throw the balanced one down and the didn't love it, didn't hate it category. Like, you see where that kind of gets weird? Because like, if you could easily interchange the power load for the balanced and swing away. That's where it kind of gets weird. And I can't obviously lump 3 bats into one. I can't say, the Jenny, the Genesis, and the balanced are number one, because that's 3 bats. Obviously, what I prefer out of those is, the Lady Jenny. If you know me, I like full ounces of inload. So, I don't know. We got a lot of different ways we could go with it. But I'm looking forward to getting that going. And honestly, I don't have any line on anything coming soon, and that's okay. I'm not in a huge rush to dive headfirst back into the content grind. I do want to change a couple of things up with how we're doing our content. That may help me get it out a little more prompt. Because there was some stuff. I've got a video that I found looking for something to finish this best of video up that I completely forgot about. We shot back, gosh, I don't even think it was... I don't even think it was July yet. I think it was sometime in June. And I completely forgot about it. So that'll be a nice little tidbit coming. I'm going to work on doing more like... what you might like call maybe... Do I dare say clickbait kind of videos? Like, here, you know what? What the hell else are we doing? I'll play one for you. I mean, right? BP Hero exclusive. You're seeing it here first. Gotta get it pulled up here. Bear with me. Okay. So, I'm going to pause this music. You need to let me know if you can't hear. I'm going to turn it up just a smidge. Blow this up. Unmute the volume.
What's up, guys? BP Hero back at you. I found a pretty interesting clip on one of my old computers that I wanted to share with you guys. I actually made this and completely forgot about it. So what it is 2 Easton Wildfire Flexes. They're the same weight, the same barrel size, they're the same inload. Everything is the same about them besides the swing count. One of them is testing at 170, and one of them is testing at 225. We're hitting some Evil Classic M's and some Evil NSA Icons. And this was an interesting video. I was a little surprised by my findings, so I did want to share it with you guys as well. I'm glad I found this, so I hope you enjoy it. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero, catch you next time.
The sound change. Kind of funny, huh?
All right, so if the difference there is 5 to 6 miles an hour, and the legend holds true that every 3 miles an hour is worth 15 to 20 feet of distance, you're going from taking a 280-foot batted ball to a well-struck ball and potentially, more than likely, a home run. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. BP Hero's out of here.
I just realized that I didn't say swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero, catch you next time. I just realized that. Slacking as a YouTuber. Real life shit. But I guess technically, would you consider that clickbait? That's kind of some stuff that I've got rolling out. I've got a couple more videos like that. And that's not even the one I was talking about from June. But there's going to be more of that, just kind of like maybe what I call filler content until bats start rolling in. And even then, that can be stuff that, you know, you could do throughout the year as well. Maybe the bat reviews have slowed down, or maybe I've got these edited up already. I have been shooting some Throwback Thursdays as well. I'm going to kind of bank those up and maybe like kind of get like 10 or so done and kind of leak them out throughout the summer. Kind of get ahead of the game on those. It's kind of weird filming the Throwback Thursdays if I've got other bats I could be reviewing. So it's like trying to find a balance there too. But if I get all the Throwback Thursdays done while it's good and cool outside, you're hitting the hard stuff anyway in all these videos. And it's not like we're trying to hit all the new bats with the hard stuff in the cold. Most of our Throwback Thursday stuff is durable. So we can totally get away with doing something like that now and getting them banked up for the summertime. And yeah, the edit at the end, yeah. I figured like let's break this down, give everybody the numbers, let everybody kind of look through this and get a look, and you know, be sciencey about it. I'm really good. My wife will tell you I am really good at overanalyzing things. So stuff like that, like I could just sit and mess with for days. And the thing that gets me gets us, is Brian really likes to do the same thing. He's very much like overthink everything. No, I shouldn't say overthink, but he thinks real deep about a lot of things just like I do. And that's what I'm saying. So many of our discussions at work during lunch would be like really good podcast material. But you know, I respect his not wanting to be on the channel. He's just not a, you know, what you may call like a live feed guy. I mean, everything's live. He doesn't want to be like on camera, on the spot. Like these intros that he does in the videos, I think it's awesome. He likes doing them, especially sometimes I forget to do them, or, you know, it's just his touch on the video. That I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I'm bought into the fact that this deal is kind of Brian's too, as much as he say it's not. I just let him kind of pick and choose what he wants to do. He's got ideas. We kind of try and run with him. You know, I value his input on the bats. I value his input on the videos. I've got a small group of 2 people. I try and send the videos out to, just so everybody can kind of check them out, just so they can kind of check them out and make sure I didn't miss anything, like edit-wise or anything like that. So it's really nice to have like guys like Snacks. It's Snacks. So I'll send the video out to Snacks and Brian and kind of let them look it over. And the main thing I'm looking for is just for them to see any kind of editing blunder, or there's been times a few years ago I would record my voiceovers for my videos all at once. If I messed up, I would snap my fingers. I could see the peak in the audio and know that I needed to stop and start back over there. And if you would listen close, you could hear me snap my fingers, or even a couple of the podcasts that I used to record. I would get choked up on my words, and you would hear me, when they were video, I would snap my fingers and then just continue on again. So we're working on it. We're getting away from it. And I do like the fact now that the podcasts are live, when it comes, speaking of, it's just nice. Like you just flow. You just flow. You don't have to stop and overthink things and think too deep about things. I did forget to turn the music back down. You people got to tell me these things. I don't know unless you tell me. So it's been a good time, but I'm thinking more content like that will be kind of fun. I've got a bat coming from a good subscriber that we're going to do a couple of experiments with when it comes to warm softballs, cold bat, warm bat compression wise. In the warm and cold softballs will be with the radar. Just trying to mix things up a little bit, get some different content in there as well, so everything is not bat reviews. And if you've been following along in the podcast, you know, I've been bowling a little bit. You know, big bowler guy now. We're big bowlers. And a lot of the like professional bowlers are vlogging. I say a lot. Like there's at least 6 or 7. I understand there's a ton, but 6 or 7 guys taking you along with their adventure. Basically, it's equivalent to if 6 or 7 conference guys were to vlog their weekend. And man, it kind of gave me the idea, like, man, maybe I should vlog again. They're not super eventful vlogs, and sometimes I fail to like remember that not everything has to be like the craziest, most eventful, like, you know, oh my gosh, this is the craziest vlog, look what we did. Sometimes people just want to see what we're up to. That's it. So maybe try and bring the vlogs back. That could also be some content that I know some of you guys enjoy. So, and also always down for ideas and challenges and silly things for the vlog too. Always in for some of that. But the Just Chatting podcast don't go too awful long. So unless anybody's got like any questions or, you know, anything they want to discuss, we're probably just going to shut her down a little bit early. Because like I said, I can sit here and ramble for hours about everything under the sun, but I'm not just going to make your ears bleed for that long. I'll let you go early. Has been too busy of a night here, but I'm open to, you know, a handful of topics here to get it done. I got a couple of ideas for some podcasts coming soon as well, and I'm going to work on getting a couple other guests. If you didn't catch the first episode of the season, we had Resmondo's middleman Kevin Bazat on. It was really cool to be able to sit down and talk in depth with him about a lot of things at the conference level, the conference side of things. So that was a really fun podcast. Adam, what's up, dude? Fat Guy BP in the house. Just checking in. I wondered where you'd been. I was wondering about you. I noticed you wasn't here. Eric's not here either. Eric's probably out busy. I've always got my usuals here. The ones that are here, hey, we're glad to have you. Goodness. Let's see. I got like a little notepad to keep some topics on. Let me see if I got a couple of things before I let you kids go. So I don't think there was, but I do want to make sure, just to be thorough, I like to kind of get the odd stuff out of the way when I'm doing these just rambling podcasts. Adam says he's just dragging. Yeah, you're just dragging. What do you got? What do you got, Adam? You got any hot topics for us? Just kind of close this thing out here. Give me something good. What do you got? Hey, you know what? Adam's doing a bat giveaway. That's big news, right? How's that coming along? Everybody likes free stuff, right? Ain't that right? Free is my favorite price. That's what I tell people. Free is my favorite number. Maybe with Adam's permission, we can play his giveaway video on the channel. Super Bowl picks, Tony, that's a good one. So I did say we were going to talk about football. We definitely did that. So I'm going to tell you something. Whoever wins the NFC is probably going to win the Super Bowl. I like, yeah, it tastes like vinegar coming out. Tastes like vinegar. But the Packers are good. They're good. Aaron Rodgers somehow just doesn't age. And playoff Tom is playoff Tom. And they're looking good. Without Antonio Brown. Screw that guy. So I'm definitely thinking it's going to be a matter of who wins between when it boils down to the Buccaneers and the Packers. Whoever wins that wins the Super Bowl. But for the Super Bowl itself, I do honestly think it'll probably be the Chiefs and the Packers. I hate to say it, but it's going to be the Chiefs and the Packers. The Chiefs' backyard football is just impossible to stop. There's no way around it. I know the Bills, so get this. The Bills, like the first time in the NFL this has ever happened, the Bills scored a touchdown every time they got the ball. Literally every time. They didn't punt one time. They didn't kick a single field goal. They scored a touchdown every time they touched the ball. That's the first time in NFL history that's ever happened in a regular season or playoff game. That's wild. But the problem is the Bills are too streaky. They're hot, they're cold. They're hot, they're cold. They're hot, they're cold. Like they had a week like that last time, and they may come out and not even score 10 points. They're inconsistent. When the Bills are on, dude, they look good. They look damn good. But when they're not, it's hard to watch. And yeah, Adam, Burrow's making a name for himself. I was kind of wondering what was going to end up happening with him. You know, some guys bounce back from knee injuries and stuff like that, and some don't. And I was kind of wondering, like, did he just have a lot of good guys around him at LSU that made him good? But no, Trey Burrow is going to be good, and he's going to do nothing but get better. I don't know why I said Trey Burrow, Joe Burrow. And he's going to do nothing but get better. So that'll be fun to watch. I do think that in 2 to 3 years, Mac Jones is going to be the truth. I think that as well. You know, obviously, it's not like people were sleeping on Mac Jones, but there was all this hype around all these other quarterbacks, and everybody's kind of overlooking Mac Jones up there in New England doing his thing. I think the biggest thing will be how long they can keep Belichick around to coach him. Not saying somebody else can't coach him and he's not coachable or whatever else, but man, if he sticks around and Belichick does too, the two of them are obviously jiving and clicking pretty well together. I could see Mac Jones being the truth in the NFL here in a couple years. John Hancock wants to know thoughts on Monster in U-Trip. So I have seen that. And I mean, we'll see what happens with it. To my understanding, I'm going to be 100% transparent. I didn't look all that close. I don't even know, have they had bats that have passed certifications? That's a big question. Have they actually had a bat that passed, and when's it coming out? And I know they're getting bought out by somebody. Can help me with whoever bought them out. Is it going to be those people running the U-Trip side of things? And I'm also curious to know, like, is Carl just going to walk away, or is he going to remain on staff and just, you know, basically he will answer to those people? It'll be interesting to see how it all boils out. Yeah, All-American Athletics. There we go. That's who bought out Monster. And, you know, props to the guy. If he decides to walk away, you can't blame him. I mean, he made an impact on the ASA game that, you know, not like softball's, you know, super legendary like baseball and all these other sports, but he's made bats and technology that are going to leave an impression for an eternity until sports goes away. Until this sport goes away, his bats will have made an impression. No, you can't argue that. You can hate the brand, you can not like the brand, you can love the brand, whatever. I don't care. You can't argue the fact that his bats and his technology kind of brought ASA back to life in ways, and no doubt changed the ASA game for the other manufacturers as well. You can't argue that. But I think that's going to do for the podcast, guys. Yes, it was very scatterbrained, and I'm fine with that. Sometimes you just kind of go with it, right? It's just kind of one of those nights. There's not a whole lot going on, so we got to make stuff happen, right? So I'm going to do better next week, and probably the week after. I'm hoping will be a couple of doozies. So thanks for stopping in and riding out the storm in this one and all the other ones. BP Hero loves every one of you guys. Catch you next week. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero, see you then.